sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Tyreek Hill set to return it. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Bringing them out is the second-year man, Patrick Mahomes, taking over for Alex Smith here in 2018 as the KC starter.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they bring him along. You know, a lot of people say, well, do you have some training wheels on a young quarterback? But Patrick Mahomes is at his best when he's a little bit more of a freewheeling guy who can use his big arm to get the ball downfield. I suspect the Chiefs are going to lean towards letting him go.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt, and they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
Definitely in the running for the title of best receiving tight end in the NFL today is Travis Kelce, because he can do it all. 83 catches for over 1,000 yards last year, but they can split him out wide like a wide receiver, utilize him like a running back when they run him inside on some shovel passes. And then when he catches the ball downfield, often turns it into big plays.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many runs in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On second down, Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On target over the middle to Hill. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now it's Mahomes again. That's complete right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
In today's NFL, you're not just looking for height from your cornerbacks. You're looking for length in order to combat the tall wide receivers that they have to play against each and every week. And Artie Burns has all of that. In addition, he has the ability to change direction and make plays on the football in the air. And finally, he's a willing tackler, which is really key for cornerbacks today.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. On the first quarter of action. 7-3 the score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
Hurry up, let's go. 4 down, check, 4 down.
Roethlisberger will throw. A screen to Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st down, Mahomes. It's complete to Chris Conley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Hitchens leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. It's complete to Brown, right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And there's our first glimpse of Antonio Brown in this game, and he's a guy that's a threat each and every time the ball heads in his direction, coming off the second year where he led the league in receiving yards in 2017.
Yeah, 1,533, just turned 30 back in July, and no signs of this man stopping. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Ben to throw again. And he finds McDonald. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that, but a lot of those were really like baseball.
He's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Hey, looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Mahomes going to throw. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Ready! Blue 45! Blue 45!
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. His throw incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, that's Hunt, and he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. With it is Brown. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. On the return, Fitzgerald to Son. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And the Steelers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. James has got it, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Show that bench release and go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Bell a first down and then some. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
There we go now. Green, 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. That's taken on the 25. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. To the right side and complete to Washington. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And that is incomplete. Daniel Sorensen there on the coverage.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
They'll run it with Bell. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the 1st down.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Space to run past the 20. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And down to the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bell. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. Rolling to his right. Losing 6 yards there to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And that is incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald from 10 yards out. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. Here's Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. That's caught at the 3. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Mahomes will try again on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Here's Hunt. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll go again with Bell. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Bell, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Mahomes, maybe a free play. And this is caught by Watkins.
offside, defense.
They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
Green, 90.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Trying to go back to Watkins, and that'll bring up second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And the connection not there. Incomplete. Just 14 seconds down to the final couple of plays here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's going to go down again. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz.